Right now, there's a good chance you're doing something to your dachshund that's quietly taking years off its life, and you think you're being a good owner. That's exactly why it's so dangerous. These aren't rare freak conditions. They're everyday habits. Feeding, walking, the food you trusted, that slowly damage your dachshund's joints, heart, and organs long before you see a single symptom. By the time it shows, it's often too late to fully undo. And the worst part? At least one of these 5 is so common that most dachshund owners watching this are doing it today, including, maybe, number 4, which actually looks like responsible dog ownership. I'll show you all 5, why they're dangerous, and exactly how to fix each one in seconds. Let's start with number 1, the one almost everyone gets wrong out of love. Let's get into it. Number 1, you're keeping them a little chubby because it's cute. This is the one that gets almost everyone, and it's the habit people defend the hardest. A slightly round dachshund looks irresistible. That little belly, those rolls, the way they waddle. People even joke that a chunky sausage dog is the whole point. But for this breed specifically, every extra pound is a loaded weapon aimed directly at that fragile spine. Think about the physics for a second. A dachshund's back is essentially a suspension bridge, a long span held up at both ends. Now imagine loading extra weight into the middle of that bridge. The discs that are already under constant strain now have to carry even more load with every single step, every twist, every time your dog stands up. Excess weight is one of the most well-documented risk factors for IVDD flare-ups, and it stacks on top of the jumping problem we just talked about. Overweight dachshunds also face higher rates of diabetes, joint disease, and heart strain, but the spine is the part that turns a little chubby into a wheelchair. Here's the harsh reality check. Most owners genuinely cannot tell their dachshund is overweight because the breed is so long that the fat distributes and hides. So stop judging by looks. Run your hands along their sides. You should be able to feel each rib with light pressure, not press through a layer of padding to find them. Look down from above. There should be a visible waist tucking in behind the ribs. From the side, the belly should tuck up, not hang flat or sag. If you can't feel ribs and you don't see a waist, your dog is overweight. Full stop. Measure their food with an actual cup instead of eyeballing it. Cut the table scraps that sneak in throughout the day and swap high-calorie treats for things like small pieces of carrot or green bean. Talk to your vet about a target weight and weigh your dog monthly. A lean dachshund isn't a deprived dachshund. A lean dachshund is one whose spine might never betray them. Number 2, you're letting them jump and climb like a normal dog. Here's the thing nobody tells you when you bring a dachshund home. That adorable long back isn't just a cute design feature. It's the single biggest health liability your dog will ever carry. Dachshunds were bred to have a long spine and short legs so they could dig into badger burrows. The problem is that long spine sits over very little structural support, and it makes them dramatically more prone to a condition called intervertebral disc disease, or IVDD. Studies estimate that around 1 in 4 dachshunds will experience some form of disc problem in their lifetime. That's not a rare freak accident. That's a coin flip risk built right into the breed. And every time your dachshund leaps off the couch, jumps down from the bed, or charges up and down a full staircase, they're sending a shock straight through those vulnerable discs. You see a happy dog being playful. Their spine sees a repeated impact it was never designed to absorb. Over months and years, those micro-injuries add up, and one ordinary jump off the sofa can be the moment a disc finally ruptures, leading to pain, partial paralysis, or emergency surgery that costs thousands. So what do you actually do? You manage their world like the long-backed dog they are. Get a set of dog ramps or pet stairs for the couch and the bed, and actually train your dog to use them with treats and patience. Block off staircases with baby gates, or carry your dachshund up and down instead of letting them sprint the steps. When you pick them up, support both the chest and the back end so their spine stays level, never letting those back legs dangle. It feels overprotective. It isn't. You're simply respecting the body your dog was born with. Number 3. You're feeding their teeth into early decay. Now let's talk about something you probably never connected to your Dachshund's lifespan at all: their mouth. Dachshunds are one of the breeds most prone to serious dental disease, and it's not because owners are careless. It's because this breed packs a full set of teeth into relatively small, narrow jaw. Those teeth end up crowded and overlapping, which traps food and bacteria in spaces a toothbrush struggles to reach. Plaque hardens into tartar fast, the gums get inflamed, and before long, you've got periodontal disease taking hold, often by the time your dog is just a few years old. And here's why this is genuinely a life-shortening issue and not just a bad breath problem. When the gums are chronically infected, bacteria don't just stay in the mouth. They get into the bloodstream and travel to the heart, the liver, and the kidneys, quietly damaging those organs over time. So the dog with the rotting teeth isn't just facing extra extractions down the road. They're facing a higher risk of organ disease that can take years off their life. Many owners only notice when their Dachshund stops eating or their breath becomes unbearable, and by then, the damage is well underway. The fix is unglamorous but powerful. Brush your Dachshund's teeth, ideally daily with a toothbrush and toothpaste made for dogs. Never human toothpaste because the ingredients are toxic to them. If your dog fights the brush at first, start slow, just letting them lick the paste, then touching the brush to 1 or 2 teeth, building up over a couple of weeks. Add in dental chews that are vet-approved, and most importantly, get professional dental cleanings done when your vet recommends them, even if they require anesthesia. Owners skip those cleanings out of fear or cost, and that delay is exactly how a manageable problem becomes a crisis. Your Dachshund can't tell you their mouth hurts. They'll just keep eating through the pain until something breaks.
Number 4. You're over-exercising the wrong way. This one feels backwards because we're constantly told dogs need more exercise, and Dachshunds absolutely do need activity. But the type of exercise matters enormously for this breed, and the wrong kind does real harm. Dachshunds have huge energy and a hunting drive that makes them want to run, chase, and go all out. The danger is that their build can't safely handle certain kinds of movement, especially repetitive high-impact stuff and sharp twisting turns. When your Dachshund sprints flat out and then cuts hard to chase a squirrel, or skids across a slick floor and torques their body sideways, that twisting motion is brutal on the spine. Same with long, intense play sessions where they're launching, spinning, and crashing. You think you're giving them a healthy workout. Their back is taking hit after hit. There's also the opposite mistake, which is forcing a young puppy or a senior dog into more exercise than their joints and discs are ready for. Marathon walks on hard pavement, especially before a Dachshund is fully grown, put repeated stress on developing joints. And then there's the surface problem most people never think about. Hardwood and tile floors are an ice rink for a low dog with little legs. Every slip and scramble is a chance for an injury. So how do you exercise a Dachshund correctly? Aim for moderate, consistent activity rather than occasional explosive bursts. 2 or 3 steady walks a day on softer ground like grass or dirt trails is far better for them than one wild sprint session. Use a harness instead of a collar so you're never yanking on their neck and spine. Discourage the hard twisting chases and the frantic spinning, and redirect that energy into scent games and gentle nose work, which exhausts a Dachshund's mind without wrecking their body. And put down rugs or runners across your slick floors so your dog has traction. A Dachshund that's tired in the right way is calm and happy. A Dachshund that's been over-revved on the wrong surfaces is one bad landing away from the vet. Number 5. You're ignoring the early warning signs because they seem minor. The last one is the most heartbreaking because it's the one where a little knowledge could change everything. Dachshunds are tough, stubborn, stoic little dogs. It's part of why we love them, but that toughness works against them because they hide pain extremely well, and their most dangerous condition, IVDD, often whispers before it screams. Owners miss the whisper, dismiss it as a bad day or a minor strain, and the situation escalates until it's an emergency. So you need to know what the early signs actually look like, because catching a disc problem early can be the difference between rest and recovery versus surgery or permanent paralysis. Watch for your dachshund suddenly being reluctant to jump up or climb stairs they used to handle easily. Notice if they yelp when you pick them up or touch a certain part of their back. Pay attention to a hunched or arched posture, a tucked tummy, or a tense, frozen way of standing. Look for trembling, shivering, or a dog that's unusually still and quiet. Watch their walk for any wobbling, dragging of the back paws, crossing of the legs, or weakness in the rear end. And take it seriously if they lose interest in food or seem off in a way you can't explain. Any of these signs, especially the wobbling or dragging, means you call your vet immediately, not in a few days when it's convenient. With back issues in this breed, hours genuinely matter. The dogs that recover best are usually the ones whose owners acted fast and got them strict rest and treatment before the damage became permanent. The ones who lose the use of their legs are too often the ones whose early signs got brushed off. Trust your gut. You know your dog. If something seems wrong, it probably is. And with a dachshund, it's always better to be the overcautious owner than the one who waited too long. So, let's bring it all together. Protect that spine by stopping the jumping and stair sprinting. Keep your dachshund lean because every extra pound lands right on their back. Stay on top of their teeth before dental disease reaches their organs. Exercise them the smart way, with steady walks, good traction, and no wild twisting. And learn the early warning signs so you can act fast when it counts. None of this means loving your dachshund less. It means loving them in the specific way this one-of-a-kind breed actually needs. You're not being paranoid, you're being the owner your dog deserves. If this helped you see your dachshund's world a little differently, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, because we make videos like this every week to help you give your dog a longer, healthier, happier life. Drop a comment and tell me your dachshund's name and age. I genuinely love reading them. And share this with another dachshund owner who needs to hear it, because you might just save a dog's back without ever knowing it. Take care of that little sausage. They're counting on you.